So today in our little tiny tip, we are going to do a Sharpie marker, big fat Sharpie marker on a gel plate, and we're going to pull it with multiple layers. So on this first one, I'm just taking my big fat marker and I'm doing a straight line followed by a curvy line, and then just kind of dabbing a little bit on the plate to make a design. So of course I waited till that dried, and now I'm putting teal on top of it. And now my stencil. I'm going to use a cleanup sheet to pick up the blue paint. Now here's the problem. It also picks up the marker. So you'll see when I go to lift off the stencil. Now see, in those areas it also lifted off the marker. So just keep that in mind. If you want your marker to be fully black all the way through, then just do a much simpler, no stencil, just color. So I'm laying down a mixture of, I think it's Quinacridone nickel azo gold and titanium white. I mixed it on the plate. And now I'm just going to do some stamping, give a little texture. I'm peeking underneath just to see how it's coming along. And now I'm using a phthalo green shade to show through my little stampings. And I'm picking up some copy paper. So I really like the result of this one, but see what I'm talking about with the how it picked up the black in the marker? So let's try another one and see if we can avoid that. Okay, so on my next one we're going to do slightly different pattern. I love this big, fat, chunky Sharpie marker. It is kind of wet. You do have to wait for it to dry. So this time I'm going to just lay the paint through the stencil. This should prevent the stencil removing the black from the marker. And after that is dry, I am now putting in, I think it's primary magenta and alizarin crimson. I'll double check and I'll link them below. Just putting in some mask shapes that I have. These are the negative parts of some stencils that I made, and I just pressed them in and then lifted them. I didn't want to keep them on the plate. And then I'm stamping on top of that. I love that stamp with the little very fine squiggles, like a little grid, uneven grid. I don't remember where I got it, so if I could figure it out, I'll leave a link. So that dried, and now I'm putting a mixture of titanium white and yellow, which is probably Hansa yellow. And something was not dry there. You really have to make sure it's fully dry. I'm not patient enough for that. But I love the way all these colors came out. And I love to see that bold blackness. That's because I did not pick up through the stencil. It seems my marker is already starting to get a little streaky. Okay, now I waited for that to dry. And as you could notice, I'm not even like cleaning up my plate in between. I want to get some of those residual colors from the previous print. So I'm blending a little bit of Hansa yellow with some primary magenta, lightly blending. So I'm picking up through the circles. And now I'm stamping in with the cardboard. So I want some of that blue to show through the circles. And then in this case, on the other side, I just want to make some blue dots. Just adding a little bit more texture with my little stamp. Okay, so I waited for it to dry, and now I'm going to pick it up with a Titan buff. And this time I'm using rice paper. So that was a lot of fun. I overlaid the circles a couple of times on the left-hand side, and I think I put dark blue on the other side, but see how when it mixed with the other colors, how it changed? I love seeing how the colors change when you see through transparent colors, but sometimes the effect is very unexpected. So we're starting with another graphic pattern with our marker, and this is like a iridescent pearl, which is very transparent, and I was thinking that I could lay that on top of this other print that I made earlier, which is some color blocking. And it's interesting, but not exactly what I expected. So that iridescent paint did not pull off all of the marker. So I am now going to attempt to lift that and try something a little different. So that's a good start, and it's even got a little bit of that sheen. So I'm going to add another layer on top, and I'm starting with the teal. Mixing with a little bit of yellow, doing a little bit of color banding. So I'm using my circles over the blue, and then the yellow area, I'm just going to use my stamp. And I tried to pull up some of the paint from within the circles. Anyway, I laid it back down, decided to just pull the print with the stencil in place. And this ended up being my favorite from today. Another successful jelly printing session, and I'm absolutely loving that chunky marker. So thanks for stopping by today. That's it for today's session, and here are some of the prints that I've done. Some of them you've seen, some of them I've left out of this video. Some were more successful than others, and some I absolutely love. So anyway, till next time, don't forget, create, inspire, and share. And see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.